What is up, everybody? Welcome to Talk Wrestling here on the Jeff Meacham Network. Thank you all for hanging in there. I know it's later than usual for you guys to be watching me, especially you guys on the East Coast, but I seem to get more viewers when I go up after Mr. Rift. So let's go ahead and do that. Anyway, great to be here. Interesting weekend, a fun weekend. Raw, not so much. You know, it kind of is what it is, as we say with Aaron and I on WQ and here on the network. Raw was interesting. It was tough. Tough show. Tough to watch tonight. Aaron made a couple of really good points. I'll get those real quick. Apparently, we have two number one contender tag teams in the women's division with Shotzi and Tegan supposed to be having their shot after winning on SmackDown, but now we have Rhea and Nikki winning tonight. Cool. A little weird. And then, God, the tag team turmoil stuff taking up more than half of Raw. I don't mind the in-ring. I agree with you. I don't mind the in-ring work necessarily. It's just tough because there's so much more to do than just, have, the tag team division dominate the show. Now, granted, I'm the same guy here who's bitching, we need, variety. We need different things than we usually get. And to be fair, we got that tonight. But yeah, the Moist TV segment was really tough. Jeff Hardy kind of just getting thrown in there with the 24/7 crap is ridiculous. And I'm not a Jeff Hardy fan, haven't been for a long time, but for him to get the kind of hype that he got, coming back and, getting the No More Words song back, and now he's just another 24/7 jabron. That's kind of bullshit. When you have so much going on the other side of that forbidden door that everybody else is allowed to walk through, WWE's just kind of cruising, I guess is the best way I can say it. And with Walter Cruz, I'll say that. What's up, Jeff? Hello, sir. How are you? Let me go ahead and run these down here real quick. Nicholas, first of all, said, hopefully we can get some people on Raw with better people on Raw, with good people on Raw with upcoming draft. Hopefully, we can only hope, right? Shane says hello. CJ says hello. They're talking back and forth. JJ is here. JJ, I will answer your question. I did get your message on Facebook about our Musical Moments show. You have to bear with me on getting an honorable mention, so stand by, my friend. Let's see. Could Triple H start his own successful indie company? I mean, anything's possible, but as I said, I think I said this on the AEW coverage, or maybe even during one of the shows with Aaron the other day. I don't see Triple H leaving the WWE like a lot of the other executives did do or have done in the past. He's family. He's Stephanie's husband. I don't see it happening for my money. Shane's always had that independent streak, and he did leave the WWE, but he didn't start a wrestling company. He just went off and did his own business stuff, which he's still doing, by the way. So you got to keep that in mind also. Psycho Jet Black, no question. Neither one of them shocked me. I will say that now. I expected both of them to show up in AEW on the same night. Kind of surprised me, but overall them showing up was not a surprise. I was so happy for both of them. I'm very happy for Adam Cole. I think he's going to do great things in a fresh environment, and I can't stress enough how happy I am for Bryan Danielson, one of my all-time favorite people, one of our friends here at the network and at the Custody Studios and on WDQ. We followed Bryan. We've been buddies with Bryan for a long time, so it's great to see him getting his chance to shine in a different environment. Matt Helms, holy moly, with a $20 super chat. Matt, my goodness, thank you. I really appreciate that. That is that's actually going to get me over the top to get paid at the end of this month. So thank you very much, sir. He says, hello, Jeff. How are you doing, buddy? I am great. As I said, I had a great day. Got some things done around here yesterday. I do, for the record, need to apologize for yesterday's AEW coverage. Not that Noah did a terrible job. He did a fantastic, magnificent job. It was me slacking and me feeling like absolute dog poo with, you can't see it as clearly now as you could yesterday, but a really bad sunburn on both my arms and my neck. It just completely deflated me. So much so that the tendonitis I've had in this arm off and on for years and years has flared up, and I'm just, it's becoming obnoxious to deal with. I'm not going to kid you guys, but I allowed myself to kind of slack off last night, and Noah just took that ball and carried it down to the end zone and did a magnificent job, as I said, on calling all out for me. So thank you, Noah. You are definitely welcome back anytime I do a watch along, be it past or present. I'd love to have you on with some of our Wrestling Rewind shows we do with Greg. When we start back in October, that'll be awesome to see you do that. But for now, again, the simple man doing above simple things. And I thank you for that very much, sir. Wrestling fan 98, hello, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. Who really needs to be drafted to me? Who really needs to be drafted? To me, Jeff and Drew more than anybody else. I wouldn't mind seeing both those guys go to SmackDown. And as long as they get the proper TV time and, we get to hear, we've been clamoring for Jeff Hardy's, old theme song for years and we get it back and now we barely see him on TV. So what the hell was the point of that anticipation? So put them both on SmackDown and let them get the shine. I agree with that. There are a lot of things can happen. It can benefit a lot of talent by leaving Raw, leaving SmackDown, going the other side. So I am all about change. I am all about things that are new or even recycled but fresh. So I'll be curious to see how this draft goes and who gets drafted where and where the storylines progress. That's always the key. It doesn't matter if you move the entire roster to one side or the other. It's about how they're presented and how the audience reacts to the presentation. Always been the key. Going back to the beginning when Vince's father ran the company, the audience reaction is everything. And now the audience is back full time each and every Monday, each and every Tuesday, each and every Friday. They're going to have to start gauging that and not just go with what the old man wants. I said it in a chat with the No DQ guys earlier, and I stand by it. It doesn't, it sucks. It doesn't matter what we think, ultimately. The entire company's direction is the whim of one person, especially now with NXT being under his direct control also, if that rumor is to be true, to be believed. So if the old man's happy, that's how things are going to go. We, as an audience, need to make a stand by turning off our televisions from Monday Night Raw, NXT, Friday Night SmackDown, watching the competition more diligently, making an effort to get hands on Dynamite and Rampage and the shows on YouTube, get our hands on NWA on Fight TV, get our hands on Ring of Honor, wherever you can get it in whatever part of the country you're in. Watch Impact every Thursday on Access TV. Watch those other shows and make Vince go, they're not watching me. Why aren't they watching me? What's going on? Make him actually look at the ratings and go, oh shit, what now? That's the key. You can't just sit there and coast your viewership and think that Vince won't do exactly the same damn thing. I didn't think it was boring's a tough word because I was intrigued by the wrestling on that show tonight. So to a diehard, it depends on when you were a fan. Attitude Era fan, you hated this show. It was ridiculous. Ruthless Aggression Era fan, not so bad. Modern Era fan is going to eat this shit up. So, it's very subjective. I wasn't bored. I was engaged. I enjoyed it. If Vince and Bruce are taking charge of NXT, then how about Triple H and Shawn take charge of Raw? It could do with their creative ideas. I am okay with that. I don't mind SmackDown's creative right now at all. Roman's getting a little bit stale, but they're keeping it straight with doing this thing with Balor. So yeah, put those two in charge of Raw and let them do their thing. I agree with that. Great point, Greg. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. Caleb says, in your opinion, what does WWE have to do to bring viewers back from AEW? I pretty much just said that earlier. Sorry, I should have read that before I read your comment, before I said what I said. So there you go. There it is in a nutshell. Not going to lie, JJ says, I was kind of bummed he didn't use Final Countdown. Yeah, me too. But, the fans that are watching AEW are fans from the last 11 years, brother. And Rise of the Valkyries, Five Valkyries, whatever you call it, is his song. So, they're not going to remember unless they deep dive into YouTube and watch that stuff, which, by the way, you should watch all Bryan Danielson stuff. Not going to lie. Wrestling fans says, truly feels truly so much like the A show, whereas Raw is unwatchable. Aaron said on the recap, Raw has not been the A show for a long time. Especially with SmackDown garnering that $2 billion contract from Fox. They're the A show. Roman Reigns is the guy. I may be wearing this shirt in support of one of the guys I've liked for a very long time, but Roman Reigns is the guy in WWE right now. He's just that person. He's the head of the table. He's tribal chief, whatever you want to call him. He is the guy. So SmackDown's the place to be. Who should Edge face next? CJ says. I want Edge to stay in the main event picture, but I don't necessarily think he should be getting his ass whooped by Roman. I don't think he should continue with Seth beyond Friday night unless they do something really, really special at a Big Four pay-per-view with those two. So, I'd like to see this thing with Dominic evolve a little more and him get so wigged out that he, cracks Croc, for lack of a better term, and maybe Dominic and Edge would be an interesting dynamic, because we saw that Uncle Edge dynamic with teaming up with Ray and Dominic a couple weeks ago. So I'd be interested in that. I can't stay tuned in, but at least with SmackDown, there's the gripping factor of Roman Reigns. Exactly. See, I should read all this stuff before I start talking. I'm sorry, you guys. Let's see. Roman is a much better heel than he was as a babyface. No question about it. If this was Vince's response to All Out, guess he really doesn't see it. That's the thing. He doesn't. He doesn't see him as competition. He absolutely 100% does not. So it's just trying to see here. Yeah, it's he doesn't. And like I said earlier, you guys are us, the audience. We are the key to changing that, making that better, making that difference. If we don't make that difference, we're not gonna. Nothing's gonna go our way. So that's what we should all just take a stand and stop watching the shows. We're not going to. I'm not, because I got to work. So there you go. Should Brock Lesnar go away? He just came back. He's been on TV once, and it wasn't even on TV. It was a pay-per-view. Let it breathe, brother. Let it breathe, man. Seriously. I want to see what he says in the Garden on Friday night. I really do. Now, you're not big into hypotheticals, but if you're writing Raw next week, what are a couple things you would change? Yeah, I'm not into the hypotheticals at all. You called that hell on the earn the money there. Excuse me. I appreciate that. Well, I need a water break really bad. I've learned watching Aaron and doing these things solo. Water is key. Hydration is everything, folks. As far as I would definitely change the way I present both tag team divisions, men and women, and I would make it. I know everybody likes Matt Riddle and that's fine. I don't. I would get the belts off him right now. Yeah, just not my cup of tea at all. But yeah, they need to stay consistent on the women's tag team and who is with who. So tag teams are a thing. I'm kind of tired of the Sheamus U.S. Championship thing. He needs to go do something else. And I know, well, he's just contending. It's like, yeah, okay. But he lost, and he lost clean. He lost very decisively to Damian Priest. So, and figure out what you're going to do with Drew. You've got Drew kind of just coasting right now. If you're not going to draft him to SmackDown, you got to do something, or he's going to die in the vine in a hurry. Yeah, it's definitely the reason that they're putting Morrison into SmackDown, because of that Fox deal. $2 billion is a lot of money, folks. That's $400,000 a year for 5 years. 6 figures for 5 years. That's a lot of damn money. All right, money, huge dollars. So if Fox wants this, they will get this, because they are helping direct the story. So, it's funny you say this, CJ, and I'll get to you in just a second here. Currently, the Braves third baseman uses Steve Austin's theme, Stone Cold's theme, for when he comes out to bat. That's what he's trying to say. What current or past theme would go for a baseball player? We actually have a baseball player here in Los Angeles playing for the Dodgers named Will Smith, and they play the instrumental introduction, Jesus Christ, for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for him. So I thought that was cool. There's a few people that use themes. I know. There's some off the top of my head. I can't make them happen right now because I'm so focused on this. But quite a few baseball players actually use the wrestlers' themes. More recent themes for sure. Stone Cold's a very popular one. But yeah, we have a guy. He's a white guy, which is he makes it funnier. That uses the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's theme song. But yeah, we have that, and I love that. I think that's great that these songs are so intense and so impactful that the athletes use their songs. I think that's cool stuff. Let's see here. With AEW having the momentum, if they get Bray, does that put the? I don't know what you just said. I'm having trouble with what you're trying to say, Greg. I'm sorry. Maybe did you correct that later? You did not. Okay. With AEW, if they get Bray, does that put the? I think you're trying to say if it doesn't put them far enough ahead of WWE. I actually have a question. I'm going to put in the Jeff Meacham Network group on Facebook at 12:30 a.m. Eastern, and on Twitter as well. So let me, a fair bit ahead. That's what I thought you said. Okay. So I will say it right now. So over the last few weeks, we've gotten these signings with AEW. You had CM Punk, officially returned to wrestling. You have Ruby Soho, Adam Cole, and Bryan Danielson debuted last night. So when I put this poll up, I will leave the poll open until next Monday at the conclusion of Monday Night Raw, 8 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 a.m., 8 p.m. my time. Which of these four rumored signings is the most likely? You don't have to answer in the chat if you don't want to. If you super chat, I'll read your answers if you want to. If you want me to read your answers tonight, I will. But I'll definitely bring them off tomorrow, next week's show. Do you see Wyndham Rotunda signing first? Adam Scherr, of course, Braun Strowman, the Nature Boy himself, Ric Flair, or the tag team now known as the Inspiration, of course, former Jesse McKay and Cassie Lee, the former Iconics. Who do you see signing first? And then that poll will be live coming up at 12:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. I have it set up on Facebook, and I will do the same thing over on the Twitter, as Bully Ray would said many times. Let's see. What else we got? Do you miss WWE stars fighting local jobbers? Nope. If I'm going to invest my time into Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, I want to see the stars fight. That's what I want to see. So I don't want to see enhancement talent. It's not when I, use my 3 hours a week, or actually 7 hours a week to watch, is people get squashed. It's dumb. What's your favorite sport? Hockey, baseball, or football? Hockey. No question about it. I cannot wait. We are this close to opening night for hockey. I know for a fact that it's going to be in October. I know my team, the Kings, are in the Dallas Stars home opener on Friday, October 22nd, because my friend Demi, who used to work for the Kings, is now working for Dallas and trying to coordinate with people to interview for that game and for all kinds of stuff coming up. Like I said, it's a busy time, and I'm not going to lie. I love every bit of it. Undertaker is my, where'd it go? There it is. Undertaker is my alarm. I actually use the Undertaker's theme for my dad because that was his all-time favorite. Whenever he calls or texts me, I hear the gong and it gets my attention in a hurry, because usually when dad texts me or calls me, it's most definitely important. So I definitely make sure I want to hear it. It's nearly 5. No, it's nearly 5, brother. I'm sorry. Like I said, I only do this after airing on Monday nights because I get the higher view count. I'm trying to make that happen. So I do apologize for the tardiness. After this feud with Roman Reigns, do you see that being a reality? I think Brock Lesnar might go to AEW after this feud with Roman. Do you see it? No. I don't see, again, I've said this for a long time. I don't see a lot of these guys leaving, but it happens. So, don't know. Anything's possible, I suppose, but I don't know. I would like to see Brock stick around and actually, contribute more than just, show up like a freaking shark, gobble it up, and leave again. Kind of, I hate when it does that. When he does that, excuse me. Psycho Jet Black says the Inspiration should come out to Inspiration by Chicago. That's interesting. If they're allowed to license that song, go for it. That's not a bad idea. Psycho Jet Black, not at all. James says Raw's coming to Boston next week. I was thinking about going, but honestly, AEW made me have less interest in WWE than ever. And I'm not going to pay to sit through a 3-hour lackluster product. Dude, you hit it square on the money, brother. Paying whatever WWE charges in a given arena, and sit there, not just for the 3 hours of Raw, but for the dark stuff before Raw and the main event stuff before Raw. You're there for a long damn night, man. It's a long show. So I wouldn't, granted, I went to SummerSlam. That was a long show, but it was a good show. I will very likely go to WrestleMania in a couple of years, but that's, again, WrestleMania is a whole other animal. So I wish AEW would come out here. I'd like to see them. They were going to be at the Toyota Center out in Ontario. Of course, the pandemic made that not a reality anymore. So we'll see what happens. There we go. Walter Cruz says live tickets cost way too much to see local jobbers. Exactly. I don't want to go pay whatever James is going to pay an example for, a ticket at the Fleet Center and watch garbage or local jobbers. That's ridiculous. I agree with that 100%. James says, I've been lucky to have been to 3 WrestleManias. I'm going to savor the memories. There you go. See, I've been to 2. The one coming up here at SoFi Stadium will be number 3 if I get to go. So all about it. I think AEW's ring is a little smaller than WWE's 20 by 20. Am I right? I don't know. I haven't been in an AEW ring or been close to one yet, so I'll have to gauge that, or I can ask somebody that works in AEW that I've been acquainted with over the years to double check that for me. I don't know. Yeah, and see, and that's a good point, Walter. AEW won't give Lesnar that part-time deal, I don't think. I tend to agree with you, Walter. He won't get that part-time contract / money / deal, so he'll stick with Vince because he will. It's fine. I'm up for Raw's interview anyway. Always make me laugh while he moans about being tired, right? Because it's like 3 hours ahead of me, and you're 2 hours ahead of that, or however you're 5 hours ahead of that. So exactly. Try to live in the UK, watch pay-per-views, Raw, SmackDown for the last 20 years, where the show starts at 1. Exactly. You guys have it crazy bad over there, and I love your dedication to the product, for WWE, and of course to our stuff. We really appreciate you guys staying up late overseas. Really feel honored that you would do that. Psycho Jet Buck says, you feel that Ring of Honor has lost its luster and importance these last several months? Try several years. I mean, I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat anything. They had such a hot, huge start, and then the thing with Feinstein happened, and it was so bad for the company. That scandal just derailed their momentum. Anything more, a higher number actually than 100%, it would have derailed it that much. Just a bad thing. And then the thing with Marty this year, or the last year and a half or so, man, they can't seem to get their guys in charge or their head guys, the top guys, to behave themselves. Their in-ring product has been second to none since they started 19 years ago, but their office people just don't know when to stop screwing up. That's their problem. For forever, it feels like, because the Feinstein thing, I think, was 2004. That was like 2 years in. Bad, just bad. Have you heard rumblings that The Undertaker might be coming back for something? Looking back in hindsight, he should have fully withdrawn himself from WWE and wrestling as a whole back in 2012. What do I think? I agree. And I don't say that I have not enjoyed The Undertaker the last few times he's been around, but I really do feel that the end of an era should have been the end of an era. It should have been Triple H's last match. It should have been The Undertaker's last match. 20-0, go out on top, even number, and Shawn Michaels in-ring stuff, being done as well. So that should have been the end. 100% I agree with you. No doubt about it. Let's see. Paul says, Dynamite is my first on indie or WWE show since oh, well, that's right. Yeah, I forgot you're going to Dynamite with Noah. Dude, enjoy it, man. It's going to be something special. It really is. From what I hear, Dynamite's a whole other experience than it has been for other wrestling fans lately. So, yeah. Enjoy it, brother, please. James says, I was at WrestleMania's 14, 24, and 20. I was at 2028, 424. I was at 24 as well. We were up in the, the Bob Uecker section, Dad and I, up there at the Citrus Bowl, but did not go to 14. 14 actually happened when I was on one of my many you're grinding from wrestling because your grades suck moments. So I didn't get to see WrestleMania live. That was a bummer. But, yeah, I enjoyed it. Greg says, appreciate your content, man, and how real you are. So thanks. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you saying that. I try very hard to be as real as possible without getting too far into the personal stuff. So I ran to Xavier Woods at Dragon Con in Atlanta this week. Oh, yeah, Woods, he's cool. I like Xavier Austin. He's a great guy. Long tenure guy. People don't realize how long he's been around. He's been around, you figure he was the substitute for Pac-Man Jones back in 07. So he's been around for a minute. We talked about Pac-Man Jones being tag team champion back on Dad's last week. So it's, he's been around a long time, and he's still a great wrestler, a great competitor, and a great talent on TV. He's a hell of a funny guy. Do you believe CM Punk held his own in his comeback match? So many years away. Yep. 100%. He looked great. They both did. Him and Darby both looked really good last night. I got to go back and watch it again for sure. But I enjoyed his match way better than I thought I would. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I thought it could have been a lot worse, and he didn't. He did very well for himself. When do you think WWE will stop with the fake crowd noise? Nearly 2 months since crowd's been back, and they still use it. WWE and WCW even at the end used the crowd noise forever because they're going to get people to cheer for Goldberg because Goldberg sucks so bad. So they had to pump the crowd noise, and they feel they can still manipulate the because remember, WWE is not necessarily there for you guys in the audience. He's there for the guys on TV, the people watching USA, the people watching the network, the people watching Fox, the people watching wherever the other shows are syndicated. So, yeah, they don't really care too much about the live audience. They claim they do because of the energy that you guys provide, but they don't. They want, that contained, canned. They want people in the audience to react the way they want them to react. And that's really gross. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think they'll ever stop with fake crowd noise, to make that a simple answer. I still have not seen MLW stuff, and I'm a cad for doing it, but I just haven't. Let's see. Oh, geez, you were part of that shenanigans with the pyro at 24, dude. I hope you came out of that okay. Holy cow! It's funny. My dad and I didn't know about that until the next morning when we woke up to our voicemails being blown up by family because they thought we were hurt or in the hospital or something. And why are we freaking out? And then we turn on the news. Oh, that's why. So it's a crazy Sunday night going into Monday, for sure. Okay, at least you were evacuated. I mean, evacuated is one thing. That's okay as long as you're all right. All right, last question for the night, and then I got to wrap this up because it's almost midnight. I want to try to get this done before Monday's over on the East Coast. Do you believe that Big E will be successful in cashing in Money in the Bank? Yes, I do. Oh, okay. Well, now you sent one. I got to answer this one, Greg. Okay, real quick. How much time do I got here? I got just over a minute. All right. Yes, I do think he'll be successful. Second Jet Black. Thank you. Your Ultimate No DQ Squad Survivor Series team. You can choose 5 guys and or gals to go to war with. All right. Me, Aaron, Greg Cherry, Virtue, and to give us that female dynamic, I will say Aaron's fiancée, Caitlin. Virtue will drive the opponents crazy with him just troll slaying everybody. Greg's superior wit and knowledge will wow the rest of the competition. Caitlin will just distract them with the beauty stuff and just the overall impact of her awesomeness and just beat the crap out of people. Who else did I say? Aaron's the boss. You can't have an ODQ team without the boss. Aaron is the guy, and me, I'll just be sitting back there going, "Yep, I'm still here, coasting along with my ODQ laurels. Don't mind me." Anyway, thank you guys very much. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, earlier, Matt. I really appreciate that. That's going to go a long way to getting things going here on the network. So thank you so much. We'll see you guys coming up tomorrow. I think I ran this commercial earlier, but just in case I didn't, I'll go ahead and run it one more time as we're signing off here. Have a wonderful night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow with the return of Stat Boy Sports Bar. In the meantime, see ya.